Okay, beautiful to be here with all of you. Let's take a moment just to arrive here to this moment. Welcome yourself just as you feel at this moment. And we welcome the Holy Spirit to lead us deeper. And whatever we notice, we can allow. Just acknowledge how you're feeling. What are you doing? Does anyone feel like you have a topic or theme you would like to go into?
I'm having some back pain and neck pain, and I guess I'm a little confused about what A Course in Miracles says about that. Or, the pain doesn't go away if I just say it's an illusion. Am I supposed to feel guilty because I must have some wrong thoughts in order to, feel the pain? I know that's not the correct way to understand it, but yeah, I'd just like to know what your thoughts are about the idea that the body doesn't really exist in any single instant. Makes kind of, it makes some sense, and it's experiential, and that yeah, sometimes if my mind just becomes quiet, then I'm not feeling the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, the mind has projected the body out of doubt, out of distraction, out of the separation from God. And when your mind becomes still, you approach God, you approach the light, and you're not the body, and you will not feel pain anymore. So it does make sense when you get still. There was somebody who wrote, someone shared on Facebook under a video we shared. These sessions are shared and people really appreciate them. It's really beautiful. This man wrote, lovely, very spontaneous, this open space of healing and present moment inquiry. A shared intention reveals true focus, uncovering the ego's specific application of this special relationship, integration of course metaphysics into a manifest egoic stronghold, tenderly, peacefully extended. Thank you. It's very poetic. But this is what he wrote too. Sleeping with the course, meditation and prayer tapes brought pain relief and reductions of symptoms. acceptance of the connection of mind, acceptance of the connection of mind healing and body as I was falling asleep, at least intuitively clear in the moment, accepted and disappeared in trust. This is apparently the dawn of deeper clarity of bodily healing. So he's been listening to the videos and he's been going into meditation and like going to sleep with it. And it brought pain relief. So this stillness of the mind, you know, when you're able to still your mind, you know, yeah, you start to approach that you're not this body, you know, you're not your body. And the ego uses pain to enforce that you are the body. It's like evidence to the ego. Physical pain is evidence that God is dead. If God is real, there is no pain. But if pain is real, there is no God. You know, it's one of the powerful messages of Jesus.
I find that difficult to stand up if I'm sitting or lying down. It's like my muscles sort of, you know, freeze up. And if I go for a walk or, you know, move around, that seems to make me feel better. I think that's good. And it seems like the Course is saying that it doesn't matter what I do, right? It's just a mental thing. So
yeah, but if you still believe in the body, if you still believe in form, you can't just say that and think it works, you know. Say it doesn't matter because there are symbols that you believe in, you know, like, okay, walking helps, it feels better. There's nothing wrong to use that. It's what Jesus calls magic. And magic can help when the mind is too afraid to heal directly. So if you find ways where, you know, where it works better for you while you look at your mind, while you work through things you need to work through, that's, you know, that can be supportive. But
yeah.
Well, I just feel like it's such a deep journey and it takes a lot of exploration to discover all the layers in the mind.
Yeah, I mean, that tells me that, you know, I shouldn't be surprised in the sense of having some symptoms like bodily symptoms or uncomfortable feelings, because like you said, it takes a while to clear out all the distorted thoughts and beliefs. So yeah, I like to think of it as sort of a purifying process that, yeah, I don't need to feel guilty about it, right? I always have the sense, though, that I don't really grasp what is causing my problems. I mean, this kind of
You said there are things you feel guilty about.
yeah.
They are what cause your problem. Do you want to talk about it here? Because exposing the guilt, talking about it, can actually be very, very healing.
I'm hesitant, guys. Actually, I scheduled a massage for my back, and I don't think I want to get into I don't know, start a journey that I'm going to interrupt.
You're going to leave the meeting soon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for excuses, I guess, because I'm not. I'm not really comfortable. I don't want to sort of maximize, just find something and just kind of dwell on it.
No, but why don't you use your massage session to go deeper with this? Like these things that you feel guilty about, you can't just move away from them. Like you need to face the guilt, release the guilt, And it is really the Holy Spirit you need to expose it to. And when it's fully exposed, it's going to be gone. You're going to feel innocent. But, you can talk to me if you like in the sessions. Maybe it's not this session, maybe it's another session, or a one-on-one call, or you can heal it with God directly. But if that doesn't work, talk to somebody you trust.
Okay.
I
Thank
think
you.
that's going to help you out. Yeah. You're done
Thank you.
for now? Okay.
Done for now. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Patricia?
Hello, everyone. It's a question I have. I need clarity. So I'm going to try to put it in a nutshell that makes sense. Okay, let's say I'm watching a movie. I have the awareness of huge sadness and abandonment. And okay, so right at this moment, I'm feeling it. Okay, so perhaps tear comes out. I really feel it, and inside, the turbulence, the storm, and I'm trying to put myself in the situation. I almost feel like vomiting, and I'm right there, but I'm aware. Okay, my question now to you. Okay, I'm experiencing all of this. If right, Barret says, okay, allow the pain, but sadness is showing up and I'm allowing it. Is this enough? And do I make sense? Like,
Yeah.
it seems like it's decreasing all the time. Is it what I need to do? Or can you see anything else that I'm not doing? Or
No, I feel allowance is it, because there is allowance and awareness comes to mind.
okay,
Both allowance and awareness, because you may not be aware of everything that you believe or everything that's going on, but allowance is a way to more awareness, because often or sometimes we can allow to a certain extent and then we stop the allowance, and you want to distract. But when you fully allow, you're going to become more aware of who you are. And first, more aware of the blocks, But so, yeah, I think you're right on. I think the allowance is the way for as long as you need. So if you watch a movie, you can pause it and be with that feeling for as long as you need, or go back to the scene that brought it up, or,
yeah, but unfortunately we we have to function in this society. That's where,
said who?
well, says that I still live in this society. And sometime, you know what I mean? Let's say I need to go and for my dance lesson, I cannot just say it's going to wait later. So
Well, when you work with the Holy Spirit, you're actually ready for everything that's guided.
okay,
So you can trust. If you need to fall apart, fall apart. You don't have to put yourself together for the society, for living in this world, you know. There is nothing more important than healing. And in my journey, I feel like I've always been ready for what I need to be ready for. You know, sometimes it has not felt that way, you know, but in the end, I've seen that it was perfectly what I needed, you know. So to trust spirit in all circumstances. And if you need to fall apart, you know, you're going to be ready at the time you'll need to be ready for something.
Oh, really? Okay. So if I just want to make myself some kind of recipe formula. So
Okay.
let's say I'm watching the movie and it's like, oh, I'm falling apart. And, you know, there's always this fear that comes up that, oh my gosh, and I don't know if it's because, well, I call it managing my life. Like example, when you have kids and you're supposed to go and pick them up at school, etc., etc. And well, I cannot fall apart when I need to go and pick up my kids, example.
You
So
don't have
you are telling me that I'm wrong on this. Yeah?
This is a hypothetical thought that you have kids to pick up.
Yeah, because I don't have it anymore.
Exactly. Even your dance class, it's not that important if you miss a session, or like whatever you need for your healing, you know.
Okay, so I got it now. So if I'm watching a movie and my dance lesson is in an hour, I don't give a darn. You're gonna go, you let it all burst out. Okay, so got it. Okay, so you answered my question.
I like that attitude because, you know, that's going to bring you through stuff. Otherwise, the ego will always stop you and say, no, you can't. You have to stay in control here because of that or that.
And in some way, it's losing the control.
It is losing the control,
It's
yeah.
losing the control.
That's what you
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you. Okay. Anyone else?
Right.
Hi.
I thought I wouldn't have anything to say today, but something came up. Why do I believe I'm Anna?
It's a good
Really?
question.
Why? Like, where did this all start? Why?
Do you think there is a decent answer to that?
I don't know.
Me
No.
neither. I don't think, you know, there is actually no point to it.
Perfect. That's awesome. I've been kind of going through that, like asking the Holy Spirit, like, is this a reasonable question? And if it's not a reasonable question, can you help me drop it or move on to like, can you help me with the questioning process or whatever? Okay, so then I'll just drop it. Good enough. Thank you.
Yeah, because you won't find the answer. There is no answer to why,
Okay.
you know,
Perfect.
but the ego wants to ask those kind of questions. Like, why did I even do that? You know, why did I separate from God?
Go ahead.
When you do dive deeper, you're going to see you are not Anna and you never separated, you know.
Yeah, because I think that's kind of where my question was coming from, is like I very much don't, like I very much am in more disbelief over having separated from God and all that. It doesn't make sense that much anymore. It's starting to just not make any sense whatsoever. Like separation doesn't make sense. Hate when you're loved doesn't make any sense. But then, yeah, then the sneaky ego questions come in and go, well, why do you identify with that? Why do you think that's real? And it's like, okay, just drop it. Just drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Drop the questioner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. And the thinker. That's what's been driving me. I've been like so detached from the thinker and believing that I think. And it's like, oh, it's so relaxing. It's like, oh, I don't even think I'm the one asking the questions. I don't think I'm the one that's thinking. It's, yeah, it's going in a good direction.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know to just drop it.
We'll all become good beers. We'll just be, you know, observer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone else? Peter? We had such lovely messages from Lori today. Yeah. It's lovely when people share miracles and it's beautiful. Yeah, hi Peter.
Hi. Yeah, Laurie sent me a link today. So it was very helpful. It's like there's so much to speak about. Well, I don't know what to start with. And then that creates an issue for me.
Just start with what's coming to your mind right now.
Well, Laurie's piece was the fear of redemption. And I remember about a week ago, you read from the Song of Prayer. And I just found it almost unbelievably beautiful. I was just crying. And it's so much easier for me to share about my stuff. But to share about the sort of love that I felt, or whatever that was, it's just felt frightening.
Thanks for sharing that now.
Hmm.
It can be strong, that fear of love.
It's like other people asking why. And of course, I can look at it from the grievances there, da, 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 da.
Fear of love. I've had that fear of love. I remember one time I spoke to, actually it was an Apple help call for my Apple device. And I felt such connection, such love with a woman I spoke to, like huge love. But immediately also the ego was like fearful of expressing the love because the ego said, no, this is the first time to talk to the person. It was this fear of the love, you know, so it's definitely like, yeah, the ego wants to shut it down. I mean, it doesn't make sense in truth to be fearful of love, you know.
Yeah.
But it makes sense from a human perspective of healing, you know.
That's a helpful example. I read the call for faith. It's asking me to see my brother really as spirit, not in form. That's how I understood it. And we had to take our car to the garage. And part of me has this fear of being taken advantage of. See, so there's some obvious judgments, some pretty persistent ones for me. So I can see in that way, I don't have the faith to see at that moment, it seems. And it seems connected with what you just said, actually, about the Apple call.
We just had a couple here, and the guy, he was so angry. I think he was angry at each and every one here, like really angry. But at the end, he cried, both when he hugged Barret and then when he hugged me. Like, he just felt accepted, you know. But the fear of love can be strong, even so that anger, you know, is coming out as such a defense. So.
But it just feels like I keep somehow trying to come from a new angle. Feels like one moment I'm feeling all this unworthiness or shame, guilt, but then there's this terror. But it feels really all the same thing. Ever since I started the course, I've had on and off pretty intense resistance, I would say, looking back. So part of me goes, help, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like a good prayer.
Mm.
They help.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable with that. I noticed my eyes started twitching around as soon as I'd said it, when you answered. That feels something to do with faith or trust in God. And some part of me doesn't. Or I don't know if you can partially trust God.
Everyone on this planet thinks they can partially trust God.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
either you do or you don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just helpful. I mean, I feel a bit stupid, showing how stupid I feel about it all. You know.
No, it's good. Sometimes Lucy talks to me and she says, this doesn't work for me. This path is not, I don't think it's for me. I can't even meditate. I can't even find the Holy Spirit. It's basically help, you know?
Mm. Mm.
So it's,
Okay.
I think everybody feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that help feels really uncomfortable
To say help.
to say help. Yeah. It's like I really yearn for it, and then I'm resisting it. And I guess that's the same thing.
Yeah. Sounds like a helpful prayer for you.
Mm. Okay.
Thank you. I thought of you guys today. I thought you must come over soon.
Can we?
Can we?
Okay. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Love you.
Thanks.
You have any last share? Solveig. Thought I saw something.
Yeah. 2 days ago in the morning, right after Thursday session, when you said to me something about just really calm and quiet and allowing, and I just woke up and I had this very clear in my mind, silence.
Silence.
Silence, yes. And then the last 2 days have been very difficult. I can see it's so difficult for me to be in silence. There's so many things coming up around it. So I have some fear around it, and I have a lot of beliefs, and definitely guilt. There's some weird idea that I need to make everything ready to be in silence. I need to be ready. Something like that.
That seems like too much. Maybe you can bypass whatever that belief is, you know, and just be silent. There is no preparation needed. It's It's in the moment, you know, because you probably put it in the timeline and it's scary. If you,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm going to be silent for a whole day, for 2 days, or, you know, that may scare you at this point. So why don't you just practice in the present moment?
Yeah, and certainly I had this. It's a little like putting my happiness out in the future. It's never going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like the same thing.
If you take it moment by moment, you'll be able to look at the fear of silence, you know?
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're going to enjoy the silent mind. You know, it's not really absence of sound. It's just the stillness in the mind that is the experience, regardless of sound. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I think we will just finish up and okay, thank Holy Spirit being with us and stay in this precious communion, this powerful place. Bye for now.